childhood hating my stepdad. Then I found his letters to my father. My parents divorced when I was 7. Mom remarried a guy named Glenn 2 years later. My dad struggled after the split, living in a small apartment and barely making rent. Dad died last month from a heart attack. I was cleaning out his apartment when I found a shoebox full of letters in the back of his closet. Growing up, Glenn was the no guy. He was strict and boring and all about rules. When I was 12, I begged Mom and Glenn to let me go to a concert with my friends. Glenn looked at me and said, "No, that's a waste of money." I stormed off to my room and slammed the door. The next day, Dad called and said, "Hey buddy, guess who got us tickets to that concert?" I screamed so loud Mom came running. Dad was the best. Glenn was the worst. It happened over and over. I asked Glenn for the new sneakers everyone at school was wearing. He said, "You have perfectly good sneakers." That weekend, Dad showed up with the exact pair I wanted. I asked Glenn if I could go to summer camp with my friends. He said, "We can't afford extras like that right now." 2 weeks later, Dad surprised me with a registration form. Every single time, Glenn was the wall and Dad was the door. Glenn made us do chores before dinner. Glenn made us finish homework before video games. Glenn made us go to bed at 9 on school nights. Dad's apartment was freedom. Pizza for breakfast. Video games until midnight. No bedtime, no rules, no lectures. We worshipped Dad. We tolerated Glenn. For my 13th birthday, Glenn handed me a card with a savings bond inside. He said, "This will be worth something when you're older." I barely looked at it. That same weekend, Dad gave me a PlayStation. I hugged him so hard, I almost knocked him over. I don't think I even said thank you to Glenn. The worst part is Glenn never said a single bad word about my dad. He never complained when we came home from Dad's weekends talking about how much fun we had. He never pointed out that Dad forgot our school events or showed up late to everything. We thought that meant he didn't care. We thought he was weak. By high school, my brother and I stopped pretending to like Glenn. We'd walk past him without saying hello. We'd answer his questions with one word. One night at dinner, I told Mom I wished she'd never married him. Glenn just sat there chewing his food like I hadn't said anything. He never fought back. He never defended himself. He never tried to explain why he was the way he was. I thought that meant we were right about him. Dad died 3 weeks ago. Heart attack in his kitchen. He was 61 years old. I drove to his apartment alone to pack up his things. His place was small, just like it had always been. Same secondhand furniture, same cramped bedroom. I was going through his closet when I found a shoebox I'd never seen before. I figured it was old photos or receipts. I opened it and found dozens of letters and envelopes. The handwriting on the outside was familiar. It was Glenn's. The first letter was dated 15 years ago. "Here's $300 for the concert tickets. Tell him you got a bonus at work or something. Don't tell them it came from me. Just be the one to surprise them." I read it 3 times. I didn't understand. I opened the next one. "Your son's been asking about those sneakers. I'll tell him no tomorrow night. You call him Saturday and be the hero." My hands started shaking. Letter after letter. Years of them. Every gift Dad ever gave us. Every surprise. Every time he swooped in and saved the day. It all came from Glenn. One letter said, "I can tell they're starting to resent you for not having money. That's not fair to you or them. Let me be the bad guy. Let me say no so you can say yes." Dad's replies were in there too. I found one that said, "I feel like a fraud. They think I'm father of the year and I can't even afford their school supplies." Glenn wrote back, "They don't need to know where it comes from. They just need their father. Being the bad guy is easy. Being their dad is the hard job and you're doing it." There were letters about summer camp, letters about my first car, letters about my brother's class trip to Washington. Glenn paid for all of it, every single thing. The last letter was from just last year. Glenn wrote, "I know they don't love me. That's okay. They love you and that's all I ever wanted for them. You're a good father. Don't ever think otherwise." I sat on my dead father's floor and cried until I couldn't breathe. 20 years of hating a man who spent every single day making sure I loved my dad. 20 years of treating him like garbage while he quietly made my childhood possible. He never told us. He never defended himself. He just let us love our dad and hate him instead. I drove to Glenn's house that night with the shoebox in my passenger seat. When he opened the door, I didn't say anything. I just hugged him for the first time in 20 years.